got it closed, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna have to get somebody to come do it because it's like stuck. I can't reach it. Oh well. Hey everybody, how are you doing? I hope good. Um, I wait till people come in to get started and say, uh, hey, hey Joseph. Hi, my beautiful Joseph Ivy. Hi, oh, I love the hearts. Hi, Nine House of Healing Energy. Oh, that's a new one. 200 or more. Justo. Hi, Lady Lovey Way. Thank you, MG. Mama Bear. Nam. Babe. Cosmic Star. Chanel. Oh, I wasn't looking like myself. Nine House of Healing Energy. Please tell me. Hi, Montel Dickerson. Hi, Chanel H. You know what? I gotta remember where I got this from. I had this wig in the closet, and oh my god, I'm in love with it because I like the part and how natural that it looks. Now I gotta figure out where the fuck I bought it from so I can get some more. I absolutely love it. You know, I'm not a wig person because you know all my life I had very long hair. And then when I got sick and dealing with the mold, I started getting fungus in my head over 10 years ago and suffered with that. So I don't get the wigs right. I'm trying my best. I guess I just, and I can't braid my hair. I don't know. Oh, y'all are so sweet. You know, thank you, baby. And, you know, I'm still losing weight. So I'm not as puffy anymore because, you know, I hated being puffy, even though y'all are so sweet. But you know what? I judge myself very harshly, but then I look at other women that are thick, like the big tits, the fat, meaty, juicy booty and the legs, and maybe a little bit of stomach. And I'm like, they are so sexy. That's like a woman. That's a grown woman's body. But then on me, I'll find something wrong. I guess because I've never let myself get like thick like I am now and titties big and stuff. So I'm like, I was looking at this lady with my son the other day and she was shooting and I think that's so sexy because she has this show. I forgot what her name is, but she just says all she does, and she might cook, and she's just got this big old booty and like big tits and just like ew. And then I'm like, damn, I'm built like that now. I just got to shape it up. But why do I think it looks good on her and everybody else? And then I sit up and beat myself up because I'm like, you're too big. You're too short to be too big. And then a lot of you would be like, no, we don't want you to get back skinny like you were when you started Vagina Power in 2006 and 2007. With the smaller athletic body, y'all like I like the grown woman's body and the curves, and so you know what? I really got to work on my own self-esteem issues because it's like how can I look at the same thing on another woman and be like she's so curvy and sexy, and then my own body is like curved out like that, and then I find something like you're not supposed to be that big. You got to get back skinny. You got to get back toned and just little bitty body fat. And so I just like okay anyway, but let me see. We all have body. I don't think we do, Joseph. Oh, you're so sweet, Queen. I'll be glad when I completely look back there and all my hair grows back because that's what people would think when my hair was like this. It was like this, really long, like this. I have some old pictures like in my 20s and in my 30s, and we would go out. I would go out with my little boy, and they were like, "What are you? Are you Indian and black? Like, where are you from?" And I'm like, "Mama, why?" Which is my grandma. I only call my grandma Mama. I'm like, "Mama," even when I was like in my teens and early 20s, like, why do these people say that? But they don't say that, you know. But then if you go down in the country and you see a lot of my relatives on my mother's side, just like in a lot of your families, you will see the mixtures from midnight black to white, and in between, the exotic looks half white or half Indian, like the indigenous. and then it's here. So it's like when my son came home, he's like, Mom, I don't like the wigs. I don't like the wig, Mom. I like when your hair was all the way down to it got down to my hips. And people were like, where are you from? And I'm like, baby, I'm sorry. I just have to do the best that I can right now. But he like hates it. But I'm just trying to adjust to I just gotta probably go to somebody that knows how to do it and teach me, because I can't braid my hair. I don't know if some of you are the same way, where your hair is really soft and it's easy to tangle, easy to tear. If I put all those braids or somebody else puts all those braids in my head, it's going to shed. So that's also my dilemma, because like to make it so natural, you got to braid it down and like um, really pull the wig. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to watch the videos and I'm just going to have to do the best I can. I'm going to have to do the best I can until it grows back in. Because if you look at the old videos of me, like when I started off in 2007, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see them. If you go back and look at the old videos from 2007, 2008, you will see you'll see where I had my natural hair down, and how long it was and how it looked. Thank you, Corey. So, oh yeah, yes, the 9 houses of energy. I feel so much better. I'm able to stand up, and I looked at the I looked at the comments from okay, let me know if I missed anybody. Thank you. I love the chairs too, Eric. Thank you. I know Corey is so fine that I'm one of those people, I can't do the braiding and all those twists and things. It'll just make it shed. And I've heard some other people that say that. Thank you. I love the hearts. I love the hearts. Yeah, let me know, because I can't always look at the comments and talk, since I don't have a moderator in here. So I'll just look from time to time and see if someone we don't know. I think that it's not just me. They do that to everybody's chat. So hey, Lily. So I don't go back and forth with people. It's a waste of our time. Anyway, oh, that's so sweet, Eric. See, I don't work. You know what? I just wish I didn't waste so many times in bed. I can go get that time back to do those things, but I guess it's never too late. It says, please stop helping people, because this is also what turns around. I'm not going to say I won't help anybody. I just think that when you have a lot of people sending negative energy at you, and unfortunately the people that you do have around you are not as spiritual and not as strong and not as solid about you, and really not as in love with you and loyal to you as they say they are, then it's easy for spirits to inhabit them, for demonic possessions and anybody to be able to turn them against you, because they're not really completely solid to begin with. They're not really in love with you to begin with. Or you tell me what you think. 9 houses of healing energy, because I don't have a lot of people around me anymore. Like I used to have a lot of people around me, and they were all taking. And as I've said before, I was taught to be that way. Like down south in the Christian church, you give, and God will give it back to you. And you help people, and you see people on the street or at the exit, and you give them money and give back to you. And I realized that's totally wrong. You don't give to people without boundaries, and you just don't let everybody come into your space. I'm trying to see. Okay. If it's, hi baby, hi sunshine. So unfortunately it took a long time. You said in the case of Mo, my apartment as well. I haven't seen you in so long. I've been going through. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you got well, because a lot of people don't recover like you and me. So you're very, very blessed to recover. What was I going to say? But no, I agree with you, and that's all I think about, the House of Nine, healing, and unfortunately, you will look at yourself and see, you don't see a reason why people want to hurt you and dislike you. And especially, like I said, coming from my background and how I will sit up and find all these negative things to say about myself, and I'm not this, I'm like that, I need to do this, I need to do that. Maybe if I was this, that wouldn't have happened to me, or this person would have stayed, or that person would have left, or this person wouldn't have betrayed me. It's to the point now that, because it's happened starting in my childhood. So if you all have had that same kind of thing, to start with your mother and in your childhood, and being beat down by the main woman that gave birth to you, then all of the women in the family join in that are older than you, and you're just a little girl, you're a baby. I want you to start looking at that pattern, because I know, unfortunately, where that started, and dealing with a woman that's a mother that uses you, abuses you, always is a taker, always teach, and the grown women decide to take from you and violate you. The grown men in the family decide to take from you and violate you, and then abandon you when she don't want to babysit you. She want to be with her friends. She want to go party. She want to go out of town. You learn that you're not worth anything to these people, or they tell you it's because you're worthless as a child and you don't have value, you don't have meaning, unless you're giving and it's something they can take. It's a one-sided relationship. So I really, really have been thinking about that. It's very important to me, with everything I deal with and every fucked up person that starts off nice in my world. I do not blame myself for their actions, because I'm not responsible for anybody's actions. But I do look at it, and I know that it's not me. It's people on many levels in all races that go through this, where they have a certain energy on them, and they're born with a certain purpose. And if you don't know your purpose, you don't know the meaning for your life, and your mother never loved you, nobody in your family ever loved you and supported you, it is natural that you go through life trying to find replacements, a mother figure, a father figure, a family, a brother, a sister, or babies. And you have to know the purpose of your life, the meaning of your life. Because if you are a higher level being and you came in to shift the vibration of the consciousness of the people that you deal with, and the whole energy and aura of that community, of that race, of that religion, of that ethnic group, you're not going to have very many human friends, because they will kill you. They will sabotage you. Then you'll have other people that are leaders and that are respected that might be fake as fuck, and may not be as good as you, as talented as you, have a pure heart as you, and might not have the mission statement that you have, because you be about this shit. You are that shit. You walk it like you motherfucking talk it. You ain't saying one thing and doing a motherfucking another. But because these people are connected politically, they have financial institutions, they have educational institutions, they have religious institutions to back them, and they connive, scheme, and will do any and fucking everything to be worshipped like a god on earth in a human fucking body. And that does happen. It is true, where people are actually ascended masters or have a higher vibration, have been here before and know more than the group they're being placed in, because you don't consciously remember that you agreed to come back down and have a certain experience. That does happen. Or you can also be one of those people that you don't know it until you start to pull back from human. Stop feeling it's so important to have a mother and a father and a sister and a brother and a whole bunch of people that like you. Once you realize these human motherfuckers ain't shit. And you might have people that humans love them. And they've always had good relationship with humans. And they blend in because they didn't come in to shift the matrix. Nobody's going to attack them. They're going to have very less problems than you do because they come to blend in and keep things the way they are, not shake up shit. When you don't know, and many times your mother will know you and will resent you because she's the one that's supposed to have the goddamn power. And she does have gifts and she does have sacred abilities, but she's an angel and a demon at the same time. And she chose to sell out and give into her lower level vices, which is also an agreement. So that means you little bitch. And they'll dislike you. It's a lot of mothers that dislike their fucking kids. And you didn't do nothing, but you always felt like the bitch didn't like you when you was a little mini bitch. Because they see something in you that pisses them off. The spirit that is in them, or half of the spirit that's in them, made an agreement to come and fucking challenge you. And to be more successful, or to have a higher chance of being successful, they wanted to be your fucking mother so they can put their motherfucking foot on you and damage you and blind you and have you looking right. Your head is, you're born with your head this way. This bitch got your head turned around like you motherfucking Sybil in the goddamn Exorcist. So you are backwards. You're walking forward, but your head is turned fucking backwards to keep you fucked up and twisted, because she knows that you are going to be above her and your heart is more pure than hers and you're more of an earth angel, while this bitch will take her energy and cloak herself because she has some divine energy and because she has spiritual gifts. She will use that to attract people in, to use them to get what she wants. But then she has this other side of her where she cannot fight the vices, the dick, the dope, the drinking, the partying, getting into the ego, the arrogance, and using it to exploit the masses. So when they see that you are not that, bitch, you got to go, because one day you get to a certain age and you're going to challenge me, even though you would never physically or verbally challenge your mother and disrespect her, because you have reverence for her, because you see the beauty in her she does not see in herself. And even though you feel the rage and the unacceptance and the dislike within her, because you know what is also in you threatens her and enrages her, you would still never rise up against her. You would want to work beside her and admire her. At least that's how I was. And it doesn't matter how good you are, like he said to me, or she. I'm sorry. I don't know what you are. I don't know if you're male or female. Sorry. House of Healing, House of Nine Healing. And you cannot, when you come just to enlighten, just to share your knowledge and your gifts from a place of love, helping and trying to heal and balance people, and not expect anything in return, if that is not your purpose. You must know your motherfucking place, your position, and your goddamn rules and laws and bylaws and your ethics, what is for you and what is against you, and knowing when it comes, who it is, who it's not, who to accept, who not, and your fortress must be strong and your boundaries must be set. When you do not know and you just want to give, and you're taught if you give love, then it will come back to you. If you do right, Jesus will bless you and God will bless you. Whoever's telling you that is setting your life up for failure, because success does not come to people because they are good. Success does not come to you, and protection does not come to you because you are kind and because you are loyal, especially when you see someone that's disloyal and they are a liar, or you immediately respect people that you don't know when you meet them and trust them to do the right thing when you meet them, instead of distrusting every motherfucker when you meet them because you don't know anything about them, and make them earn your respect and set your boundary. Many times that's what people do: lie, cheat, steal, and destroy. Just like it says in the Bible, that's what Satan wants to do. And when they are not for you, and when they are not 100% loyal to you, as they say, I would never do that to you, I would never steal your money, I would never lie to you. Yes. And then they do what they said they were going to do because they are conflicted about you to begin with. And they want to, anybody that will steal something from you and then turn around and lie and try to obliterate your whole fucking life and obliterate your whole memory from the internet, as if they have the power to fucking do that, wants to be you and is jealous of you and everything that God gave you, even though you think it's nothing. Bitch, you better change your fucking attitude. You better change the way you see yourself. Even if you don't fucking believe it, that you are a great, you are beautiful, you are special in the inside and out, you are talented, you have a gift to bring to the world that nobody else can bring to the world. Until you fucking believe that shit seriously, you still need to set up boundaries because you don't know who you are. And it took a long time. And this is now, unfortunately, at this time in my life, I am seeing, I am understanding, I am accepting that it's a lot of people that do not like me. My own family does not like me. My family does not, excuse me, the physical so-called family that means shit to me. Once someone shows me, and I should have been taught that about me, but who around me was going to teach me that? These people like to abuse little girls. You have a lot of women, your mother and other people in your family, that like to abuse little girls and abandon them and get jealous and compete with the little girl. The little girl's only fucking 6 minutes old. I don't even want to say 6 months, 6 minutes old. Because for some of you all, you're going to understand what I'm saying. I had my child in my uterus, but we had a different kind of relationship. And I thought every woman had that relationship, but they do not. They do not have eyes to see and ears to hear. When they are physically awake, or when their bodies physically asleep, and then they move into the third, fourth, fifth dimension, or even higher, and they get to see the life that came down into this realm and is developing heart, mind, body, soul, and then developing a physical body that you can engage them. Me and my son would engage every night. And I would see him, I would talk to him, I played with him. And I remember I had my first ultrasound because I was so depressed. I ate all the time. And I was like 5 months old, 5 months pregnant, and my stomach was out here. That's very interesting that I said I'm 5 months old. I wonder, or I was 5 months old when I was pregnant, because probably in some ways I was. Because if you don't know, if you don't remember who you were before you had a body, before your mother got pregnant with you, then you won't completely know who you are, your purpose, and your mission, because your mother and all these other people are going to fuck you up. But anyway, what I was saying was, when I kept seeing him and I knew, and I was so big at 5 months, they said, we've got to do an ultrasound because you're too big. You're not watching your diet. You're not watching your eating. But I didn't tell them what was going on. And how my mother was calling me every day at my grandmother's house saying God told her to tell me my baby was going to die in my womb and that it was going to be retarded. And she's supposed to be a woman of God and a preacher, and doing this to her children, and then thinking it was funny. She didn't want me to have a healthy child, a healthy marriage, a healthy life, none of that. And she said it basically and enjoyed when I did not. She helped to orchestrate the shit. When they were getting ready to do the ultrasound, I said, I already know it's not twins, it's a boy. And they're like, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. I'm the nurse, I'm the doctor, I know everything. And I said, it's a boy. I know it's a boy. Yeah, whatever. Okay. All these white nurses around. Yeah, whatever. Give her the ultrasound. And we can't determine it, but I could see on the little, like a Polaroid snapshot, I saw a fat stomach, and like I saw a little something sticking out, like a little penis. And they like, we don't know what that is. And so when I went into labor, they said, let's put her in the pink room. And I said, I was already in a lot of pain. Get me out of the pink room, because I'm not having a girl, I'm having a boy. And even though we could not determine it from the ultrasound, I know I'm having a boy. I know him. Would you put, and they're looking at each other like, she's in so much pain. She's delirious. And, she doesn't know what she's having. It's like, your ultrasound couldn't tell us what you were having. It's in your chart. You don't know what you're having. And I said, I do know. It's a boy. Would you put me in the blue room? Maybe my stress level will go down. I'll relax. I'm having a boy. I know I have it. And like, you know what? Just humor her, because she's in a lot of pain and she doesn't want to be in the pink. So just to calm her down, roll her into the blue room. So this is what the nurse does. And so when I see my son, they bring him around. I could not have him, which is another thing we're going to talk about on another show. I could not push that child out of my vagina. And then he didn't want to come down, so he flips upside down, and what they call in a breech position. So I know what that meant for a lot of you women that have had babies or try to have them, and they're, like feet first. Yes, breech, feet first. His head was down. He changed his mind. It was like, oh, no. And then he just turns and gets real stubborn and puts his feet down. And as they're trying to turn him around, and this is like, to me, such a violation when they do this to women. Take their whole hand, and this man doctor sticks his big hand. He tries to put it in my vagina and grab the head and twist him and like turn him. My son slips back and like, I don't think so, like not today. And he pulls back, and that was the most painful shit I ever experienced, and then puts his feet down. And they can't come out like that without causing a lot of problems. So for me, dealing with myself, and I would love to, if women are not hearing this right now on the live, that might not have been through something or have been through something like that, I love when you give me your feedback, your opinions, and your views of it. Like, two things I'm going to say. I know now that child fed on my fear and my CPTSD. And my insecurity about being in this world, being unstable, unbalanced. Because when you are abused your whole life, you don't have PTSD, you have CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And we don't, unfortunately, nobody teaches us that. Nobody identifies that within us and diagnoses us as that when you have a lot of trauma, and then you move into your adult life, and then it's just like being re-traumatized through relationships with the wrong men, the wrong so-called female friends, employees, husbands, wives, lovers, people that you engage, people that you attract, and you're just giving because it's really, in a way, you're like in a child mode. And you don't know what it is. So I'm telling many of you who have my background, who think that happened to you, please start looking it up, because that's what you are. That's not who you are. That is your experience, and you were victimized, and you can heal. You can change. You can grow. You can, because it's very demonic when a mother does that to a child. And so my son, because we were so intertwined on a spiritual level, mental, emotional level, we were locked in. I could talk to him. We were talking telepathically during the day. We were talking, and I got to see him at night. That's how I knew it was a him. And he looked exactly like he did when I saw him in the 4D, 5D, when he came out and they brought him around and let me look at him. And he was pissed because he didn't want to come out. And I was like, oh, I finally get to meet you. But my grandmother saw him first and came back and she was like, he got white folks' eyes. He got them white folks' eyes. You got to see him. He got them white folks' eyes. And I said, Mama, which is my grandma, Mama, what is white folks' eyes? She's like, his eyes are blue. They're blue. He looks just like the outside of the family, the bishops. And I was just like, okay, well, let me see him. And he comes around, he's just, he's blowing because he's pissed. He tells you he's not even crying. Just, I was like, hi. And see, what I'm going to say about that, the point I said a few minutes ago, get into this, made 2 points about them not coming out of you freely because they don't feel safe, because they know that you don't feel safe bringing them into the world. And you don't know what you're going to do and how you're going to do it and how you're going to raise them. Like with my situation, you've been beat up your whole life and then your mother decides to make up a lie and throw you in the street, take everything from you, try to demolish and destroy you before you can even become a grown woman and know who you are, what you are. She knows what you are, but she won't tell you and throw you out there with nothing. Then meet someone, got pregnant, and who also says, I don't want you. I don't know what you're going to do. The best thing for you to do is have an abortion. I'll go with you to the clinic. I'll pay for it. I'll hold your hand. I'll give you a cookie, the juice, and we'll never see each other again. And I said, we can never see each other again right now. You can never fucking contact me right now. I don't really give a fuck because I'm not aborting my baby. So even if I have to have my baby without you, this is what I want to do. And even in that decision, I was excited, but I was afraid at the same time. But I was not so afraid that I was going to run and have a fucking abortion. I mean, because you said you're leaving me anyway. So fuck you too. You know, the two of us will figure out how to make it work, but a plan and having support and people there, it was every month went by, I got bigger and he developed more. And I'm wondering, what am I going to do? How am I going to feed this baby? So I'm constantly trying to think of ways. Okay, well, I'm just going to have to work. I'm going to have to clean up. I'm going to have to cook. I'm going to have to do whatever I have to do besides something sexual that I didn't want to do to take care of this child. Even if it's not the greatest money, I still really keep my dignity and be able to look in the mirror every day, even if it's not the greatest life to start off, but I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to have this baby. So all this fear and all this anxiety and all this worry, that's why I think we're not taught to think about it. The baby's hearing, sensing, feeling, seeing it all. Even when you're sleeping, that child could be up having anxiety and worrying about, am I safe? How am I going to eat? How am I going to survive? Is anybody going to hurt me when I'm out there? Because my mom, whose belly that I'm in and I'm growing every day, she's afraid and she doesn't even know how she's going to protect herself. And she doesn't know how she's going to feed and protect me. I don't think I want to come out of here. I think I'm going to stay where I'm at because at least she might not be sure, but she's sure while I'm inside of her that she's going to make sure I eat and I stay warm in the winter and I stay cool in the summer and I get water. I basically eat off of her food as she eats and I feel safe and I'm getting fat and I'm comfortable in here and I don't think I want to come out. So then they clown. They're contradictory. Actually, they say babies by themselves, unless you induce it with stress or an accident or herbs to induce the labor. They decide when they want to come, but then at the same time, they're conflicted because you're conflicted. And then, like I said, my mother's calling every day, abusing me and traumatizing me. I guess she thought I was weak because we were so isolated. I didn't have any life skills. I didn't have any street skills, nothing. And she isolated her children to keep us that way and wanted to be, you know how some parents, they're so fucked up. They don't like their children. They don't teach their children any love, any boundaries, any self-respect. They humiliate, degrade, and abuse their children. A supreme, narcissistic, dirty, backstabbing bitch that she will want her children to be dependent and not be able to take care of themselves so they can stay there with them and never leave. And they keep stomping them and putting them down, not liking them, not loving them, not respecting them, but still wanting them there as like handicaps or invalids, feeding off the life force of living with them to survive while they're vampiring from you. Is a demonic and evil exchange. And the child spent their life miserable, and the mother uses them, abuses them, and drains them, and teaches them that they're nothing and that they're nobody. And so the child is hearing all of this, your phone calls, when somebody has sex with you. Do they make love to you while they're pregnant? Or are they just screwing you getting off? Because some people love to screw pregnant women. They say the pussy's hotter, wetter, and juicier. Did you know your lips, everything gets thicker. Your lips get thicker and moist, your vagina and the lining gets thicker, and your whole body gets thicker. You start to glow, and you might feel like, oh my God, I do not look good. I'm a blimp. I can't wait to get this off of me. But you don't realize niggas' dicks is getting hard. Some men, that's their fetish. They like to fuck pregnant women. So the baby knows if you a hoe while you was pregnant, you was ran through, and you got a lot of niggas fuck you. You out drinking, you out smoking crack, you out sucking dick from people you don't know. You just running the street because you don't really give a fuck about this life in you. You don't give a fuck about yourself, or some of you don't want it, but you don't have the nerve to get rid of it. Because you know people talk, and people know once one person knows in the family, they're gonna start getting on the phone telling everybody else, and then they see you're not pregnant anymore and they don't see no baby. So then you're going to be ostracized and judged fat, although they're not going to support you and they're not going to be there. So the child is taking all this stuff in. This child's like, fuck this shit. You know, I didn't want to die. I don't want her to get rid of me, but I don't think I want to come into, because I can just sense some bullshit around this shit. And they will fight you in the labor. We have to remember everything is spiritual, metaphysical, mental, emotional. At least that's how I see it. That is my experience. When the baby feels safe and loved and happy, and then you are a divine being and you don't know that's what you're here for, a lot of times you will give birth to divine children that are spiritual. And so they're so super sensitive. Even, let's say, even if it's a safe environment, that child might come out and you have an easy delivery. But the child will still feel out of balance and lost and feel like it doesn't fit in, because it could be born as one of those spiritual children, and the mother might not be and the daddy might not be, but the child is psychic and it sees people in the room, and you say it's just an imaginary friend, and she's like, no, mommy, they said that grandma's going to die tonight. You know, and then things like that happen to them. And they can't really relate because they don't remember. They subconsciously remember, but they're not taught to regress during like regressive past life meditations, or even why you came this time. Like I said, many times you will know your purpose if you start to meditate, not just to meditate to balance yourself and attract what you want, which is also good, but to know what your face looked like before you had a face. Know before what your spirit looked like before your soul came into a body, what your energy was, where you're from, who was there, what dimensions, what group of people, what race, what species, what type of entities do they bring in with them, and why you this time and this space where me and you are having a fucking conversation right now. Because if you don't, there's always someone that does know, like your mother. Especially if your mother's metaphysical and a psychic and deals with telepathy and black magic, just like mine did. But she did this to destroy her children, destroy my grandmother. And she would tell my grandmother, I'm going to kill you. You know, I'm going to do these spells on you. And would come in front of her house and do these things. And then a day or two later, hey, mom, you know, I love you. I'm sorry what I did. What you cooking for dinner? And here's some money. And then my grandmother's life just gets more fucked up, more fucked up, more fucked up. And she didn't want to listen. She told me not to trust her, but you trust her. You gave birth to this animal, this sick ass animal, and unleashed them upon the world. So you have to know that. And it's best if you've had children and that happened to you, you want to immediately start dealing with the children on a mental, emotional, and spiritual level, because they may seem fine and they may be doing great, but it's still in the subconscious, because the subconscious is like a tape recorder that's always on play. You don't have to replace the tape. You don't have to replace any footage. It just constantly plays and plays until you die. And even when the still on play because the brain is still alive for a certain amount of time. Let me look in here. You say the 9 houses of healing. You're starting to get your energy back. You know, this energy I'm talking about, I didn't have it then. I didn't have it then. Thank you. I see. Wow. A lot of you are talking. I'm so glad. I wasn't going to get into all that, but I'm kind of glad that you said I got here and didn't want to stay in the nursery. And I got pissed off. Wait a minute, boss lady. See, that was saying something about you. Did you want to be with your mom and you just didn't want to be in the nursery? You said, yep, in the nursery they call it distress. They tend to do emergency C-sections. Oh, wow. Yes, my son was in distress and I was in distress. So I never wanted to do that by caring. It felt wrong. Yeah. So I'm glad a lot of you I haven't discussed that in this show, but I discussed it in the last video you can look at from a couple of days ago. You say you take care of them. Yeah. Them after. Yeah, I'm not taking care of her, period. Oh, so little, so innocent, can only. Yes, the body's little, but the soul is big. You said I was in yeah. Whew, boy. You said I forced my way here with unbiblical cord around the neck. Oh, wow, boss lady. Wow. And see, you don't know if something or someone was fighting against your mother and might not have wanted her to have a healthy baby and be happy and whole, or something about you. Do y'all realize people get jealous of babies and want the baby to die when they get really little, the way the baby looks, the way the baby's talents and abilities are? Yes, now, babe, it was to be able to talk. And I thought every woman could do it. And I started asking women, they were like, no. You know what, Haldi, thank you. I don't, you know what, Hara. It's spelled Haldi, but is it Hara Solomani? Can you please tell me where that name, like what's the ethnic origin of that name? That's a beautiful name. I just never seen it before. But I'm glad that you women know what I'm talking about. And I'm sure some men that are sensitive and intuitive know as well. And I was like floating when I was a little girl. Even in school, my mind was like floating. I would wonder, where's my mother? Is she okay? I would worry about her. Why won't she come see me? Why won't she ever come to my school? Why won't she ever check on me? Why won't she eat lunch with me? And my grandmother's busy trying to take care of me, and my half sister and children that were not hers, when her own children, her own daughter didn't want her children. And so I know she would come when she could, but my grandmother was busy every day working 2 or 3 jobs just to take care of me. And, people would bring, when they needed someone or when her other daughter was there, she would help take care of her children as well. So she was always, just like you said, healing House of 9. She never said no. She always embraced people. She always gave, and people just took. And she died like that. And you know what's a good marker, women, to tell when someone always acts like they're happy, and they always act like they're happy to give. When a person many times is giving, and you're taught that's the right thing to do, and you saw your mother do it, which my great-grandmother lived in the building. So my great-grandmother never said no, and the family used and abused her, and she died that way and didn't take care of herself. When people are taught to do that, and that's the right thing, you'll get it back. It doesn't come back. It's just like Annie, the play Annie. It's a hard knock life. Instead of treated, they get tricked. Instead of being kisses, they get kicked. You have a hard knock life from giving to everybody, never saying no. But what that person is saying, they want to be loved. When you're giving love, and it's never a boundary, and it's unconditional without people earning it and being responsible, earning love, your respect, your trust, and you're taught to just be wide open, you get sucker punched and kicked and spit on and fucked over. But one thing I do know is people always pay for what the fuck they do. You just might not hear about it and you might not see it. And you might be wounded, but if you gave from your heart and somebody fucked up because they thought you were a sucker and they thought you were weak and stupid because you were kind, used to people being like, they want to take advantage of it when you can, they will get fucked 10 times worse than what they did to you. They're just not going to tell you, and you probably never see them again. What goes around does come around, and karma is real. However, you're still left with the wounds of that violation of your trust, a violation and disrespect of your love and your kindness, and you're left to clean up the mess behind it. And sometimes, if it is a legal situation, you must fight. If it is a physical situation, you must fight. But if it's not, and there's nothing you can do about that, it is now spiritual court if it's not physical court. And believe me, God and your ancestors and karma, the energy of what they've done can pay them back and whoop their ass much worse than you can. All you have to do is call for it. Call for divine justice and universal justice. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it isn't happening. Just because they didn't tell you and you don't know doesn't mean that they ass ain't being fuck the fuck up. But you still must, when you are that type of being. Yes, there's one point I wanted to make about my grandmother and a lot of other people. I was getting ready to say women, but it's not just women. It's women and men. When you're giving like that and your family and people around you take you for a sucker and they can't get it from nobody else because don't nobody else give a fuck about them that's using and fucking over them. So they want to come and fuck over you. When someone never says no, they don't want to be alone and they want to be loved. So they feel like if I say no, my grandchildren not going to come no more. My kids not going to come no more. My lovers not going to be around, because you'd rather have somebody than have nothing and nobody. Usually you will see women like that develop cancers in the nurturing organs, in the sex organs. The breast are mammary glands, but are also a part of the reproductive system. They feed the baby, and oh, how beautiful they are. Your vagina, your cervix, your uterus, your fallopian tubes, your ovaries. Many times women will get fibroids there. And I would suggest, please don't let it be the first time. The first thing, a hysterectomy. Now we don't have to do that. There's so many other options, but one of the main options is detoxing and getting rid of worms, parasites. There are some diseases and inflammations that may not really be a disease or a problem. It could be flukes, parasites in the liver, in the pancreas, in the female organs, and you can contract them through the fluids of a man or the fluids of a woman, the mouth, the vagina, the penis, the rectum, anus, because a lot of people like to eat booty. That's fine. But if you don't know that person, they could not have a disease like a sexually transmitted disease. They could have a spiritually transmitted disease, a demonic disease, and they could have worms and a lot of yeast and fungus in the body fluids and in the sex organs. So although it's not an STD, you can, like a sexually transmitted disease in the 3D, they can have a sexually transmitted disease or a satanic transmitted disease where it comes down in the physical and be full of worms and don't have bowel movements on a regular basis, eat a lot of processed food, processed sugar, processed breads, and this stuff cakes up in them, and then eat out everywhere, and raw fish and raw sushi booty, as well as sushi fish. And people don't wash their hands. They're not paying them much when they're making the food. You go to the drive-thru, you eat in a restaurant, no matter how expensive it is or the most expensive hotel. If you would get one of those lights that could scan them, even in Atlanta, they were doing that in some of the most expensive hotels in Atlanta, and they were running the light and seeing semen stains still on the bed where they weren't washing the sheets and changing them, washing the spread, scum all over the goddamn floor, pussy juice, herpes in the room, fluids from herpes on the toilet. You don't have to have sex to get herpes. You just go in the bathroom with your employees or in a restaurant or hotel and they didn't clean it up properly and disinfect it to kill viruses. And just the fluid, you're sitting on it. I've heard of people getting infected just from sitting on a toilet and being exposed to the fluids. And a lot of those, you will notice there is, even with HIV, there's particular fluke. There is a parasite that is associated with HIV. So they also have medication for parasites that they give people with HIV. You can look it up because, so many people like to say that I'm crazy and that I'm a liar, but these are the things I love to learn about. And plus they come talk to me and I realize everything is a frequency. You're a frequency. Your thoughts create a vibration and a frequency around you and the people that are around you. All parasites, all diseases and dysfunctions work on a certain hertz, a certain frequency. There was a doctor and she's died now, Dr. Clark, and she improved that. And I met some other holistic doctors in Atlanta a long time ago when I used to go to get treatments or to check them out, get massage. I'm from holistic therapists that were very high vibrating and spiritual. And there are machines that you can get in. There's one you can even make yourself, like a zapper, because the HIV and the worms associated with it and cancers and syphilis and anything else vibrates. They all have a frequency. Once you line the electromagnetic field up with the frequency, you could actually zap out the frequency, turn it off. And when you do, the parasite associated with it, the disease associated with it will die. It will not exist anymore in the energetic field. If it does not exist in the energetic field, it could not exist in the organ because there must be energy circulating in and out of the field that also moves blood. It's the same way with your heart. If you have a potassium deficiency, because you need different vitamins and minerals to move through all your organs, and it has to flow through the heart will beat off rhythm. You can actually die and have a heart attack if that heart is poop 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 poop, yeah, all over the fucking place. These all begin with the core energetics of the body and the organs in the body, and everything that shifts in the mind, even starting with the complex PTSD, will set you up for a dysregulated nervous system. Do you understand? That is what I've experienced my whole life, dealing with fucked up, poison, toxic ass people who want to do that to you, where everything to you, and you have to start. I want you all that have been through that to start journaling every day and talking to yourself and writing your experience out as many times as you want to write it out a day. It could be 3 times a day. It could just be a couple of days that you want. Because when you've been in a traumatic, chaotic uterus like that, who was abusing you in the womb? Because I remember I started regressing myself when my baby was little, and I spoke to my mother because every time I would try to ask, why did you abuse us? Why did you mistreat us? Why did you leave us here? Why did you let this person molest me? Why did you disrespect us? All these things. And she would go into a rage, or my head is hurting, or I'm going to take something to sleep because you're upsetting me and I don't want to discuss this. And I kept doing it. Whenever I would talk to her, you bitch, you owe me. Now, I can't make you love me, and I can't make you respect me or take care of me or go to therapy with me to fix the fucked up things you caused. But I'm determined to heal myself. And you're going to answer me, or you're going to stop talking to me, and I will stop talking to you. And this was going on before I started doing my first show, and during the time I did my first show, the Alexis K. Tyler Vagina Power Show in Atlanta, public access, Comcast, in 2006. And I said, I want to ask you something, because I went into regressive meditation on myself, because this is something she would also do. She would talk about, she was a Christian minister, a Christian church, but also deal with high levels of metaphysics and the science of the mind. And we know everything is first spiritual and metaphysical first. Everything is mind and energy. and I said, I saw when you were pregnant with me, I was very cold. I don't know how I got so big inside of you because I was almost 9 pounds. I said, but I was hungry, I was cold, and I was lonely. Can you please tell me if I saw the right thing? And she got very quiet and she said, because I starved you, a dirty fucking hoe. She's like, for the first 5 months, 6 months, I starved you. And I wore really, really tight pants over my stomach so I could keep it little so my mother wouldn't know that I was pregnant. She's like, I knew I was pregnant by Jackie Wilson, but I thought my mother always told me she would kill the baby and pull it out of me and beat the hell out of me. And I didn't want her to know, so I didn't eat. I ate very, very little, just enough for me to survive. And I just gave you a little, and clearly I was strong because I wanted to be here. Or I see, you know, your mission before you fully develop, um, up until 8, 9 months. It depends on when the baby comes out. But if you develop fully and you're able to sustain your own life and your own breath, and you don't need her for that, by the time you get to that point, you know, and you know this is a piece of shit bitch that's carrying you, or you know it's a divine high vibration being who loves her baby from the time she conceived you, and she cannot wait to physically meet you. They already know. And I already knew because when I got out, I remember being little and really afraid of this bitch because I could sense when her or anybody else, I'm sure some of you, if you can't do it now, if you're not listening, when you listen to the playback later, please tell me your feelings. And if you know, and if you remembered, if your mother disliked you, your father disliked you, your brothers or sisters beat you up when the mother wasn't around, or molested you, and you knew they didn't like you, or they were threatened of you, or jealous of you, and the mother was jealous of you. Oh, speaking of that, let me say really, really quickly. Do you all remember, I think it was last year when I did the reading, when it was all over the world about the South African little girl, light skin, light eyes. Her mother was half white. She looked like her mother. That little girl came up missing, and they were saying that someone stole her. And then I said, that's a fucking lie. Her and her fucking boyfriend, she was pimping a little girl out, and mama's a hoe and a fucking drug addict. And she should pay for that shit. They still haven't found the little girl. But did y'all see on the news the other day, they just gave the mother life in prison because they said she sold that little girl. She was selling that little girl and letting grown men get they freak off a child, pedophiles. And she was, I told you, I had said I saw she was a junkie, meth. I don't know, it was also crack and coke. I know she's a meth head, a disgusting female. I don't even call her a woman. Every woman that gets pregnant that has the ability to reproduce is not sacred and deserves respect and put on a pedestal like she's a virgin. Fucking, she's a piece of shit. And they just sentenced her ass. So if y'all saw that, let me know. If you didn't, you can look it up. Yeah, she just got sentenced. A couple hooray for this hoe. You know, she deserves, she fucking gets. But you know, and sense these things, and I was always afraid to be alone with her. I was like 5, 6 years old, and I always believed this bitch would kill me. I just felt like she didn't have the nerve to do it because my grandmother was living, and she knew my grandmother would kill her ass. You know, because I was like, my grandmother was very attached to me when I was a little girl. I didn't give her any trouble. I knew not to give this big woman any trouble, but two, she was so good to me. And she was so kind. I thought my grandmother was lying because back then it was kind of like a negative stigma. Some people treat that way today. Like if a woman in her 40s or 50s gets pregnant and she has a baby in her 40s or her 50s, there's supposed to be something negative or she's too old for that. No, you can't determine the age. If somebody's financially and physically capable or responsible of being pregnant, giving birth to a baby, and taking care of it. I even saw a lady on YouTube, her husband, so he's 45. She's like 51, 52, gave birth to her little girl, totally healthy, beautiful little girl. She doesn't regret it. The man's happy as hell. They're married, and she shares her life with her little girl, being in her 50s, raising a little girl. I think she has older children, but she didn't. No, I think she wanted it because he wanted it. So I don't know if it's her first husband or second husband, but the baby's fine. Gorgeous little girl. But then it was like a stigma back then, like, you don't tell somebody that you had a baby that older. So you just say that you're the baby's grandma, and your daughter's the mother, or if the daughter has the baby, she might put it off on the grandma, and she might say she's a mother, but then she's really detached, and the grandmother basically takes on the responsibility. So I thought my grandmother was lying to me because she was so good to me and she was so loving to me. I just knew she was my mama, and I would get ready to say, "Don't call me mama. Call me mama. I'm your mama. I take care of you. I feed you. I clean you. This is your mother right there." And I'm like, that's my sister. That's got to be my evil sister. She could not be my mother because she's such a treacherous bitch, and she treats me like she wants to kill me, and she looks at me. I can see it in her fucking eyes when my grandma turns her back and goes to the kitchen or something, and I'm in the room with her alone. I wanted to know her, but then my heart is doing this when I'm around her, and I didn't tell anybody, and I'm just like terrified. And then she'll start terrorizing me when she gets me alone. So I knew she validated what the fuck I feel. I was goddamn it reading shit and the fucking medium at goddamn 4 and fucking 5. I knew the bitch wasn't no motherfucking good because she would show the shit and make it clear she didn't want me or want me around when my grandmother wasn't looking, or my grandmother would make her keep me for like the weekend. But she didn't know if she picked me up on Friday, she's like, finally, you're spending time with your own child, and you get to go with your mother. But I didn't tell her until later. She didn't know. As soon as she picked me up on Friday, she had a babysitter waiting on the other side of town to give me fast food, like a drumstick from Church's and one of them damn hard white biscuits. I didn't even get the French fries and the coleslaw or nothing. Just the chicken and the roll. Dropped me off in Bankhead Cove. Dropped me off in Techwood Homes, Bowen Homes, or one of her friends' house somewhere, and leave all day, all night, come back the next day. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, hi. I love my mother. Take us to her house. She took a bath, got elegant and beautiful again. If it wasn't a babysitter staying right there at the house, a family member, they didn't tell my grandma, we get to go to somebody else's house. So that's Friday, right? So whole Friday night, Friday morning, we're at somebody's house. She picks us up Saturday afternoon, go home, take a bath, get glamorous again. So it's either late Saturday afternoon, once she gets herself together and looks totally flawless, then she takes us to another babysitter. If one's not right there, she's paying. That's Saturday night, all night, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. My grandma's at church all day. So by the time my grandma gets out of church, she's pulling up, get out. And my grandma's like thinking, she kept us a whole weekend. She was bonding with her children. First it was me. So I had to deal with this monster alone. And then she had another child a few years later, my half sister. We don't have the same father. We just have the same mother. I never told my grandmother about the disrespect, the abuse, and just the terrorizing, the taunting from her. Like can you imagine if you went through it, you know what I'm saying? But if you're a mother and you have children and you were good to your children, or you were the daughter, you're the child, you were a victim of it, you know what it feels like if you were the victim. But of course, if there are mothers that did this to their children, they're not going to comment and say they did it. But the ones that never did it, and you love your children, just imagine, what type of mother that would be or imagine how you would feel if your own mother did that to you. Of course, you'd be fucked up, and you would have a dysregulated central nervous system. I think we're dealing with the parasympathetic one. I've started off talking about this shit, and wasn't going to go here. I was going to get into, but I will come back because it blew my mind. I think, let me see, make sure we're dealing with the parasympathetic, because I have to know this stuff because I was so fucked up, and okay, Chrome, and how to learn about these things. And I'm sure a lot of you want to know as well. Mm-hmm. See what it says. I want to talk about what came out last night. Did y'all see it with Jay-Z and the one he made president, Desiree Perez, that was moving a lot of weight for the cartel and they let her off? And we know what that means. She snitched and told on somebody and sold somebody out. Okay, it's moving slow. So I'm going to come back to it because I want to make sure that I am correct when we deal with these medical things. You have to regulate it. You have to balance it. And one of the things you want to do is get rid of people that use you, hurt you, terrorize you, abuse you, lie on you, misalign you. And another thing you have to do is stop listening to it. Don't talk about it. Don't even be around people to engage it. And if your family did it, you're going to have to let your family go. Okay, it loaded. But I wanted to talk about, because this is off the fucking chain. And actually, yes, but I'm going to get back into it later because we're going to teach about this if you want me to teach you about this. Also, can somebody please put my Cash App in there because it takes a lot of time. As I'm healing myself, I have to learn and study as well as send it to you. Oh, Joshua, thank you, baby. I'm working on it, getting back to where I was, putting it back together on fleek so I can goddamn flex and I can be outside. With Desiree Perez and Jay-Z, I told you Nipsey told me that they're the ones that set him up and how they use and abuse people, tap their phones, murder people, them with Puffy. They was all in this shit together, and their females and their wives you think are innocent. They do the group sex. They have the children underground. They use and abuse them. They watch their niggas and their husbands abuse them. They help to perpetuate the cycle to make money, and their children still lost in the tunnels right now. And that they signed him up. They sent Puffy sick, but J and Bay knew about it and was a part of the shit. Sick Lauren on Nip. Set him up, got him in the contracts, and then started to bind him and put a lot of demonic curses and rituals on him. See, every time you have sex with someone and that person's doing a lot of demonic spells to bind you, the sex might be good. You think you're in love with the person, but then you just go deeper, deeper, deeper into bondage. And then they had him locked into the contracts and the NDAs where he could not publicly get out. And plus he wanted to be famous. They were holding him down all those years, clearly because he wouldn't sell out. Everybody in LA knew him, and he was an underground artist for years. My son told me he knew him since 2007, but I didn't know until maybe later. I don't know how I ran into him when I saw the videos, and then I saw him and Lauren together on the GQ questions. They were asking questions as a couple. And I knew something was fucked up because of the way she was responding. Yes, I'm this, I'm that. It's all about me. And then he would kind of answer her and then he'd look away. Go back and watch, and you can see he leans down like this and he's fumbling his keys. And he looks like he's disassociating with her and he's looking off. And yeah, well, you always thought that and you was this. And I could tell then it was tension between them. And she was looking at him. What do you mean? Like, it's not? Like, I'm not that bitch, at least to you, I know that. I mean, you the one beg for me, you look for me, now you got me, and you saying this. I could tell it was arguments and tension with them, and then he had put her on a pedestal, and he got violated and disrespected because he was so kind to her, and that's how a lot of times people do you. When you're very, very kind, and you love them, and they're not used to it, and they're not ready for it because they ain't done their work. They ain't did their healing. But see, she wasn't about healing like him. She came to rob, steal, and destroy for her handler, which is Diddy. And being in the other group, you saw them all together at that last Rock Nation brunch. Jay, Bay, Diddy. I mean, Diddy, if you go back and look at that picture, I knew something was wrong when I seen that shit. He was hugging her, and he looked like he had a dick so far up in her ass on that picture that you knew they were fucking. Nip is kind of like hanging out. And someone told me, they were there or they're close by, or they knew they were very close to the situation, that Nipsey was more like a social butterfly moving around at that last Rock Nation brunch he was at. He wasn't up on her. She wasn't following him up on him. It was other bitches in his face, and he was in other bitches' face, like he was single, like he was there alone. See, she basically had already accomplished her goal. This nigga done told her to fall back. Diddy, her daddy, and her handler told her to fall fucking back. This is finna go down in a few goddamn hours or in a couple of goddamn days. All these people could be paid, and I said it was dirty as hell. Him and that woman who Rock Nation. To see now, it done come out. Desiree Perez daughter done filed a goddamn it lawsuit on her, saying that she got bugs in the bedroom of her and her husband and been terrorizing her, and she just got off a goddamn mental institute down there in Florida, been in there for 2 weeks, where they said she was crazy and had a mental problem. And Desiree Perez, her mama, wanted her to leave her husband alone because he a nigga. Now, she worked with Jay-Z, J-Bay, all these black artists. It's clear they just prostitute them and taking their money because she gives 2 fucks about niggas. And she basically done told the girl, and the girl that's coming out, goddamn it, like telling all the shit, how dirty they is, how they done clone people's phone, clone they goddamn computer, hack into their iCloud, be spying on people, setting motherfuckers up, motherfuckers be killed, motherfuckers get jammed up, motherfuckers go to jail, Meg Stallion and Tory. I told y'all, goddamn it, when it went down, because I ain't want to say goddamn, but I was kind of in between with this shit. Like, did he hold a gun? Like he do? He looked like the nigga is a shooter, goddamn it, like he is Texas Pete on the goddamn it Looney Tunes. He will shoot, he will get violent. When he drunk, he get mad. But I didn't never tell y'all that I absolutely, like 100%, goddamn it, 1,000% seen him shoot that motherfucker in the goddamn foot. I know that it was some dirty shit behind it. And then I think Jay had offered Tory Lane a contract, a music deal or something, and Tory declined. Who else did that happen to? Young Dolph. He had even addressed this shit in a public video because Jay offered him, what was it, 20 million or 30 million? Somebody put it in here and said that, I love you too, Belinda. Thank you, baby. With the heart or the hand at the end. Call him a nigga. You gonna divorce that nigga? You gonna leave that nigga alone? I don't want you married to no nigga. I don't want you fucking no goddamn niggas. And then either she put it in the computer that be in the room or the TV, or maybe somebody came in there because they like to break in on people, goddamn. Because remember they said that girl was kind of slow. That said Jay-Z raped her at a party. Then they said the girl wasn't at the party. The girl was lying. Then some of the witnesses came out and said that Jay-Z and them had somebody said they was that's what the daughter said that they was a therapist. There wasn't no goddamn it therapist. And people start saying that Jay-Z sent people to visit them to make them retract or the same shit Diddy do. But they said Jay-Z is worse with this shit. He's more treacherous and diabolical, more dangerous. I don't know who could get more dangerous than goddamn Diddy and all the shit he do, and do the same kind of goddamn shit, going over there to Kid Cudi house, done whoop the man dog at a little damn dog that I don't know. Y'all tell me. I don't know how big Kid Cudi dog is. Is it a German Shepherd, goddamn it? Is it a pit? Or is it one of them goddamn chihuahuas, a goddamn puppet dog, a pickapoo? What kind of dog he got? I mean, that's even more cruel if the dog ain't big enough to stand toe to toe with the nigga all day. But I'm sure he wouldn't have did it to no violent dog anyway, unless they had it tied up. He whooped the dog ass. Sure, the dog was so traumatized and might need some therapy and psychiatry and some meds, and then locked him in the room or locked the dog in the goddamn bathroom, and then blew up Kid Cudi car or set the car on fire. And then they said Diddy's defense team said, well, he couldn't have did it because we checked the DNA on the car, or I don't know where else they checked it at, and said that it was a woman's DNA. Well, the girl testified, that's supposed to be Lauren London's sister or half sister, said that Diddy forced her to go on that ride and said that I'm gonna shoot this nigga and you going and you goddamn it gonna participate or something to that effect, because I ain't watched the whole thing. But basically said he had her in it and she was scared and forced to go in it. And you know what? Speaking of that, y'all remember a few years ago, it was a female chef that was working for Diddy and cooking, and she quit and said that she got tired of him sexually harassing her. And then even Whack 100 and some other people said that's inside that circle wasn't no female gonna be around Diddy for a prolonged period of time without him being able to tap that goddamn ass. They said that's what he did, and Lauren was included in the shit. See, the reason why I would like you to listen to the videos I put up there, X meets Y. X chromosome and Y chromosomes, and how I said that they had cloned Nipsey's weed, stole it from him, stole everything from him. Nipsey said he looked up to him and respected him because of his age, his wisdom, his money, and what he accomplished in the music industry and as an entrepreneur. And he thought this man was going to help him. And he said he literally felt like you are laying down, sleep beside your big brother and your mentor, someone that you could trust. And he said it's like both of them, like Jay act like he was asleep, he act like he was asleep. This is a metaphor. This is how he told me he felt. And you feel like you can relax because this is your big brother, your protector, you under his management team. And you know you can trust him. And he said as soon as he went to sleep and Jay acted like he was asleep, as soon as he looked over and saw he was asleep, he said he got up and slit his fucking throat. He said that's how he felt like he was done. And he was dirty and treacherous as hell. And he was part of the setup, them of there at goddammit Rock Nation. Even what the name Bobby Smurder said that a couple of years ago. He said, no, I don't want to be with them no more. Because they set motherfuckers up to go to jail. They the fed. They work with the goddammit police and steal people money. And see, look at the readings I posted up there on the community side. Because I said this, 5 years ago, this is what Nipsey told me, and how dirty they are and into black magic and put a lot of demons and shit on him. Desiree Perez's daughter says so many people scared of her, says she got police on the payroll. She got other people in different private organizations, public organizations on the payroll. So they so scared of her that after they found out that the girl was telling the truth, the police still would not press no charges against Desiree Perez. They let that shit slide, even though she had committed several fucking crimes, I'm sure. And said that when they looked at the computer, she turned her computer over, they watched the saved footage where she had been filmed and stalked by her own mama, stalked and harassed by her own mama. Said, mama, follow around wherever she didn't want to leave her alone. You gonna leave this nigga alone. I'm gonna make you leave this nigga alone. You are not gonna be fucking no nigga and married to no nigga. And so she just kept on harassing her. And that when they played the footage, she said that her black husband was beating her ass, I guess like forcing her to stay there. That didn't happen. The man never touched that woman to beat her, to abuse her, even raise his voice to her. It was no evidence of what Desiree Perez said. After her daughter said that now she filed a suit against her mama, and Rock Nation said, Rock Nation, this is how they motherfucking get down. They do everybody like that. Folk come up missing and shit and all kind of dead. Fucked up shit happened to them. And see, that's what I am telling y'all that I said in the ring where people wanted to kill me and attack me because I didn't even say that it was true. I said I was doing a spiritual reading. I said this was what the spirits were given to me. And I'm glad that I did not cave in and I did not erase it. I didn't take it down. Now we have an insider. You can't go no deeper than either a man, Desiree Perez, fucking or her own fucking child. Her own daughter, goddammit, done came out and just blowed the fucking lid off of this shit. I mean, how could we not believe her daughter? She been knowing her whole goddamn life. And she's sitting up there saying that goddamn shit. They say you always been told. Yeah, okay now, babe. You remember when I said that goddamn shit? And you said they was threatening me and calling me all kinds of names. And I remember one lady said, well, you know, my son is a rapper and we getting ready to have a meeting with Rock Nation so that my son could get a deal. So I know you lying. And I said, okay, if you don't want to talk to me no more, you don't want to listen to the readings no more, then I totally understand that you don't. But just because he's rich and famous and powerful doesn't mean he's a good person. Doesn't mean that he got it honestly. And I wish you the best. I hope your son gets a contract with Rock Nation, because that's clearly, you believe he's gonna take you out the ghetto, gonna fix your problems and make you rich. I just hope that you're prepared to deal with, or your son gonna be prepared to deal with what's coming, because it's not gonna be what went into my private inbox and started attacking me because this is what she wanted to happen. He's good with getting this deal. I'm like, get the deal. But you have the right to attack me. If that's what you want, then go get the deal. I have my opinion. You have yours. But I'm telling you, when he gets into that game, he probably, by the time he finished, he going to be goddamn and doing the Bobby Smurda dance, dancing like a bitch, wearing some goddamn booty shorts and a pencil skirt with some high heel bitch shoes, throwing it pussy. You know what I'm saying? Got titties and every motherfucking thing. You know, or in them sex parties, bound up on dope and every motherfucker. That do you. Just a bitch, don't call me no more. Don't put nothing in my motherfucking inbox. I wish you the best, but what this is gonna stay what the fuck it is. What I said is what the fuck I said. And I said it, and I ain't motherfucking retreat. I ain't walking it back. I ain't dialing it back. I ain't rolling it back, bitch. It's what the fuck I said. Now, the best thing you could do is fuck. Y'all know me. I'm not nobody child. I'm not no goddamn little girl. Y'all ain't got to like, why do y'all come over here, goddamn it? Didn't want to get funky on me and demand that I do this and I stop saying this and I take it down. It's my page, it's my video, it's my view. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to like nothing that I motherfucking say. You don't have to like me. It's fine. But if the spirit keep coming to it, that man kept waking me up. I have not really had sleep since he came in here, because if it's something, and I let him do it, and I never asked him to leave, and I won't. If he leave, it's because he want to motherfucking go. But he would wake me up, and I said, I'm not going to say that because I'm going to get in trouble, and I don't feel comfortable saying that shit. You put me out here, and you're not physically here to protect me. He said, I don't care what nobody say to you, Alexis, and how many threats you get. Ain't nobody putting their motherfucking hands on you. He's like, ain't nobody killing you. Ain't nobody jumping you. I don't care what these people said. I'm not going to let nothing happen to you. Say what the fuck I told you to say and stick to the motherfucking shit. You better not fucking back down neither. And you better not be scared. You know, he was having to talk to me like that. And I tried to go to sleep and I didn't do it. And why do you keep waking me up? Because you didn't say what I told y'all. Unless you're someone that's listening to this, or that you're going to listen to this, and you're very intuitive and sensitive, and you know that some of those people that are not just spirits or ghosts, they're souls, they can wake you up. Demons can wake you up. Angels can wake you up. Spirits, people will send tormenting spirits on people where they can't sleep. And as soon as you try to sleep, get your motherfucking ass up. And you up all night going through that shit because you can't do nothing about it and you don't have nobody else to do nothing about it. I've actually been through shit like that. And watched my mother do shit like that and then laugh and thought it was funny. People she wasn't speaking to, and she just, I'm putting a demon on her. I see her in the spirit. She just, wake up out of her sleep, hollering, looking around paranoid. And then when they would start talking back to her, they would tell her and they would beg her forgiveness and beg her to please leave them alone, to please stop sending these demons on her. And she just thought this shit was fucking hysterical. Well, those people that have been murdered, that are now souls outside of a physical body, they will do you like that until you put the message out. Please tell, please tell, please tell. And I'm like, out of all these psychics out here, you and everybody's doing your readings, you just want to come fuck with me. And I don't know why you're picking on me and doing this to me, but I'm tired and I'm not resting. And get everybody else to say this stuff. Everybody's saying this stuff. But they're not saying what you saying, dog. They don't have the nerve to say what you motherfucking saying, dog. And I know you ain't scared to say that shit. I mean, they have actually people coming, you know, I had to get my gun out. I've actually put it on video before, and I got it on my the Instagram page that was hacked. So, but I still got her And I had to let them know, look, you talking about coming to beat my ass. Yeah, I'm gonna beat your ass. What you said about Lauren and what you said about Jay, and you lying. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Okay. I'm coming to Atlanta. Okay. See, this is what you don't understand, bitch. I'll fight you about that nigga. I'll fight you about that half Eritrean, Ethiopian, goddamn half African American, goddamn half Louisiana nigga. I'll fight you about that nigga. I'll shoot about the nigga too. Cause y'all think somebody playing and trying to make fun of somebody and you jealous and you old now, but we're gonna see how old it get down because them bullets ain't old. I will fight you about that goddamn nigga. Argue, shoot, whatever it is. But I ain't gonna leave the nigga alone. And I ain't gonna stop saying what he told me to motherfucking say. And I ain't gonna retract the shit I said. And I ain't gonna take motherfucking messages down. I'm a motherfucking keep saying the motherfucking shit until I get tired or he get tired or one way or the motherfucking other. But you can keep on threatening. I'm gonna bust you in the head. I'm gonna snatch your hair out. I'm gonna snatch your wig off. I'm gonna slap your face. I'm gonna do this and do that to you. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna get okay. Well, I'm ready for all of that. All Lord shouted, all Lord shouted. But you see, I stood. And he knew a lot of other bitches. Because those women calling me, telling me, well, he's my lover too. You know, he stay at my house. He be fucking me. And I said, okay. And now that you told me that, what the fuck that mean? I guess we're going to fuck him together. Cause I still ain't gonna leave the nigga alone. I'm still gonna ride with the nigga. I'm still gonna do the nigga reads. I'm still gonna feed the nigga. I'm still gonna put the motherfucking candles up there. I'm gonna put the altar up there, the furniture, whatever else he told me to make, or whatever. Say I'm riding with the nigga. What? And you see, I did. Now, I'm not saying I'll do that shit again, cause boy, that was some hard ass goddamn shit. I don't regret doing it for him. But doing it just to do that shit, y'all, unless you've done it and you do this kind of work like I do every day, all day, it's something that you ain't new to, you true to, you live that shit 24/7. You live that shit, I live that shit. Then y'all know what I'm talking about. It is really hard on the body. And many times people get addictions. That's why you see a lot of psychics, they don't have much of a social life. A lot of times they don't have a nigga. If they do, it be drama, but you need a nigga to understand you. With a high vibration, a high frequency, they either have to drink or they have a lot of health problems or they're on meds because that shit starts to tear up the body. So just like some of you said, y'all see me, I'm looking more normal. I'm coming back to myself. I'm healing along with psychic attacks because people will get mad and try to do death spells on you and destroy you because you are revealing things that are occult. That basically means hidden, that are secret. So these women would tell me, well, you know, he speaks to me. I just want to let you know. And, you know, he's my lover too. Okay. And now that you told me I'm supposed to attack him, I'm supposed to turn on him. Like I said, I'm still riding with the nigga. I'm going to ride this out. I'm going to finish this. What he told me, and whatever it is, then that's just whatever the fuck it's gonna be, because out of all these bitches not even asked him, you said he in love with you or you in love with him. Yeah, he taught you how to make chair. He taught me how to draw and, you know, and teaching me how to fuck and okay. But you won't do what I do. You won't risk your life. You won't get death threats. People put my address out that was associated with Lauren and his motherfucking clique who didn't like me because I was exposing their ass too. I seen it when it happened on Instagram. This is bitch address. This bitch keep talking about you, Lauren. You know, now you got an address, you can do something about it. Well, she didn't need my address to do something about it, because if you get a lawyer, then they'll get everything. They'll get all my address. So I knew it was out of spite. Y'all wanted to trigger somebody to come down here and do something to me, because a lawyer don't need you to look my address up and to do a background check on me, bitch. That's what they do for a motherfucking living. You wanted my address out there. Put my, oh, you don't know her age, just her age. I don't give a fuck. You thought just because you told my real fucking age, it was never a secret to me. I never fucking hid the shit. I don't give a fuck who know. I'm a public figure. A lot of people know me and know my age. And now you do, and what? And I still say what I said, did what I fucking did. I still stand up for the nigga, stand on aisle 10 for the motherfucking nigga. I said what I said. I ain't gonna motherfucking take it back. And you ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing about it. It just is what the fuck it is. And all these bitches tell me, well, you know, he come to me, he get in my bed, you know, he my lover. He talk to me. Yeah, but you a weak bitch. You just want to say that because he's famous and everybody talk about him and everybody love him. But did you ride like I rode? Did you take the death threats and threaten to kill my son in prison? And actually told me they knew where my son was. They knew the address they'll just have. One of the Crips that's on their side that don't like me to go kill my son and come to my house and kill me and tell me they were going to do it. Did you put all these things out, these salacious and goddamn it out of wild, out of the mind shit I said that ended up being true about did and all them? Did you do that? Did you put yourself at risk? Well, see, you know, I don't, Alexis, I'm not like you. I'm not bold like that. I don't want to put myself, because you're a punk bitch. You really don't love this nigga like you said you love this nigga. You really ain't about that shit like you said you about that shit. Because the only one I saw doing it was me. Yeah, other people did readings, but nobody ain't still fucking doing it and talking about him because they don't get hits and views and clicks and likes and shares and money. I never got a check for doing this. I was never monetized all these years. I did readings on him from 2019 up until the present, but I still roll. All these bitches ain't roll like that. So I've earned my rights. And then the most that I appreciate you about is that you giving me my flowers while I am physically alive. Y'all are actually coming back and saying, wow, Alexis, you rode for that nigga. You say he told you this, and that, and Lauren and Diddy, and they was fucking and weren't, and now, and drugs, and setting motherfuckers up, and killing motherfuckers, and beating their ass up. And they said, now you see this shit done, wow, this shit done blowed up, this shit is up. I said, thank you. You know, the only reason why y'all know and why y'all see it is because when I took it, when I put it out, y'all took it and ran with it. I didn't do it, y'all did it. Y'all thought this shit, I think a lot of you all clearly believed me, even though it was spiritual. I didn't have no proof of what I said, but I believed it. I believed he was here. And I put the stuff, then y'all started spreading the shit. And this shit went worldwide. All the LA, the Crips, everybody watching my shit. Bloods watching my shit. Everybody watching it. People in entertainment that I said it about, they got it too. You know, and I'm just like, y'all did this. Because plenty of people say things all the time and they make predictions and there's so many readers out and they say things and a lot of the things are true. But the thing is, y'all support them. Y'all support me. And y'all so like, did y'all see this lady? Do you know this lady? This lady said this. And then Heaven Hollywood, I want to shout him out. He actually confirmed what I said. He said no. When they kept asking him about what I said, I didn't even know they were taking me to different people. And they went to Heaven Hollywood. And he knows these celebrities up close and been around them. He revealed, like I said, I think it's called the IE Network on YouTube. He doesn't call his network Heaven Hollywood on YouTube. But I think it's the IE Network, but he's Heaven Hollywood on Instagram. And he was like, no, Nipsey was not married to Lauren London, and no, Nipsey was not together with Lauren London when he died. They were not together. And every time they fall out, she was going over there to Diddy house in Atlanta, in that mansion, and wherever else he was in LA, and that she was messing with us. You see what I'm saying? Now, this is somebody in the 3D that actually knows them. I don't fucking know them. Thank you, baby. Yep, it's the IE Network. He did a show. I was on the show a couple of days ago. I couldn't believe he shouted me out. Because he shouted the other psychics out, but he never shouted me out. And see, that's the first place they went to him, because they knew he knows celebrity. He knew he done been around her. He know people that know her. He know people that know Nip. And he said, no, now she's a medium and she's seeing this in the spirit realm. And they said, but you could still verify it, even though she's a medium, because she said, you would know. She said that Nipsey told her in the spirit that he was never married to Lauren London. They wasn't together when he died. It was a celebrity couple. They said, now, is that true? Now, you would, goddamn it, no, Heaven Hollywood. And then Heaven Hollywood got on the live and addressed this shit. No, he never married Lauren London. No, They were not a couple when he died. I see what I'm saying? You see what I'm goddamn it saying now? See, I believe the niggas here. Because it's been enough time for you all to separate the real from the goddamn fake. And y'all are coming to me. And I really appreciate that I didn't have to physically die, goddamn it. For y'all to come to me. Even people I don't be knowing them. When they be sending me the emails and putting the comments there. I don't know who all of them are, because now I realize a whole bunch of people done seen this shit and they still rewatch. Now they going backwards, rewatching the videos, what I said. And we're like, you know what? I just want to give your flowers while you still alive. Drip you a motherfucker. And drip you dripping hard in this motherfucker. What you goddamn said from 2019, 2020, 21 all the way up to now, that shit done came out and this trial has exploded and all this shit coming out. They leaking detail, Cassie telling, and even they said Lauren London name done came up, what, about 50 times in the court documents. Her name keep coming up and I bet she gonna get out of it. She's not. She don't seem like the type of Sagittarius that will do that. I don't know what else she got in her chart, but she's not gonna ever be honest about screwing him and setting him up and doing them freak offs with him. But she's been with him since she was a young girl, 18, 19, goddamn it years old. And I can look in her eye, and I told y'all that she was real nasty and freaky, but she's sneaky. Classy, geeking, fucking, sucking, sneaking, freaking. She's sneaky. She's sneaky, goddamn it. And a lot of them Sagittarian and them Scorpio, they real fucking sneaky and real goddamn it, freaking real fucking oh Lord. Fuck your nigga. Do eat calm like Cassie let a nigga piss in they mouth. Get gangbang niggas, two niggas in the dick, in the pussy, in the ass, and in the mouth. Get up. Hi. Hello. I'll stay look gown and shit on out in public. And you don't know this a sneaky, freaky goddamn Sagittarius and a goddamn Scorpio. I don't know what cast he is, goddamn it. But I know it. I know it from the beginning. Not the beginning. The goddamn beginning. I can look at her and tell. And I looked at her eyes and Nip said she liked to fuck niggas and bitches with him. He said, they talking about I fucked around on her and I fucked around on Tanisha. How the fuck I fucked around on Lauren when she's sitting right there and I'm eating some pussy, she eating it right there with me, and I'm fucking a bitch, she getting fucked. Now y'all hear this shit done goddamn it came out. Goddamn it. I mean, Wack 100, he was on somebody's show the other night. I don't know if it's real, but the nigga that Wack 100 said was in a sex tape with Nipsey, and he won't release the tape. He said people need to bid on to put their money up. He said Nipsey liked to watch his women get fucked by other niggas. And Lauren was getting fucked by this nigga and Nipsey was watching it. Like they both ran a train, said she's real freaky like that. And that he came in the mouth, on around the outside of the mouth, and then Nip kissed her on the mouth. And I don't think this is gay. I never gotten into homosexual. He never told me. He done told me everything. He never told me that he liked no niggas or no boys. To this day, I would never say that. I don't have any evidence of it, nor in the spirit have I seen it. Nor he's told me I don't believe that. Wack said it was gay, and other men said it was gay because he kissed her in the mouth while another man's semen was there. I don't even know if that's true because none of us have seen this tape. I said this nigga was freaky, real freaky like that. I agree with that. He's a freak. He liked group sex and shit, and that people were telling me, that's from out there in LA that Tanisha freaky and done took on several niggas at one time to do group sex with Nip, men's and women's, and is a drunk. Like she might not be now, but like to get drunk and pop them pills. See, but when I said it, I'm a liar. Again, here, because you need to jump, and bitch, I'm gonna fly down and jump you and I see. But then, did y'all see a couple of years ago? It's been a couple of times. Black Sam done took Tanisha to court because he found out she was a drunk. God damn it! I mean, now this is in the court document. Excuse me, not court. Court. This is in the court document. What Drip had said. But now I'm a liar, I'm a dirty, jealous bitch, and all this stuff, But in the third dimension, what I have said is in court document. Just like the very first reading I did on this man at the beginning of April, because it took about a week for me to get the information. He was talking so much, and I had to study to keep up with him. Then I'm dealing with his Eritrean ancestors coming in here, and someone from Ethiopia, and damn Haile Selassie is in here, and so I'm talking to Eritreans, I'm talking to Ethiopians. I'm like, you might be Eritrean, and Haile Selassie was cruel to y'all, or the Ethiopians is a lot of some of them. I'm not gonna say all because I've seen some that are half Ethiopian and half Eritrean. But I don't know if it was the Ethiopian government, along with Haile Selassie at one point, was cruel to the Eritreans. So they separate. They live in separate lands, territory. Explain it to me, somebody from over there. If I'm wrong, I'm trying to learn. So I'm in here. I'm dealing with him. I'm dealing with his LA side. I'm dealing with the African American side. I'm dealing with the Mama Native American side. I'm dealing with the white side. God damn it! Then I'm over there in a whole nother goddamn country over there. I'm over in Africa dealing with them. They all over the goddamn house. So I'm so fascinated with this shit, and I'm just like, I don't know nothing. So I gotta sit here, and he got to bring me up to speed just so we could have a conversation. So I'm writing this stuff down, and you lying, and he's got to be here. He's got to be here because this is stuff that I want to know and I understand, but I don't know the language. I don't really know the culture. And I didn't know they even engaged with us. And some of them dealt with black people over here, black women, black men over here. So he's opening my eyes, and I'm seeing this. And then they coming on the page, the Ethiopians coming on the page, the Eritreans coming on the page, which totally shocked me. Because I never seen them over here before. I'm not saying they ain't came over here, or some of them might know me. I don't know, but they never started talking. They really quiet until I started dealing with their beloved, not Nipsey Hussle, but their Armias. Their Armias Joseph Ashkadom. They always, I know it's them because they'll say, I'm Eritrean, I'm Ethiopia. They put the flag up there. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for y'all opening your hearts up, your minds up to listen to me and not just attack me because I'm not inside of your world. I'm not inside of your culture, but you're still willing to open up and listen to what I have to say. And I remember, I didn't say anything directly to them at first, but he was upset because in 2019, that's when that plane crashed. The commercial airliner crashed in Ethiopia and killed a lot of Ethiopians. He was very upset about that. And he didn't, many times you get out of the body, you might not like a certain group or like a certain race or ethnic group of people. And then, because they're against you or violated your ancestors, and then you get out of the body, you see things differently. Like Haile Selassie was very sorry. He told me to apologize to him because Nipsey wouldn't speak to him. When Haile Selassie came in the house and he wanted to talk to Nipsey, Nipsey wouldn't talk to him. And so he talked to me, and then I had to talk to Nipsey because he wanted to apologize. And I said, see, I didn't even know all the history about that. So I had to go read so I could talk to Nipsey, and he admitted things to me. And I didn't get into that at first until some of the Eritreans and Ethiopians, they came, they said, well, does you giving the messages out to his mom and his family in LA, and you giving the mass messages out, but what about us? Does he have anything to say to the Eritrean people? And they're like, yeah, and I want to know too, and I'm Ethiopian, and what do you got to say? And I'm like, well, I didn't know that y'all was over here, and I didn't know that y'all would listen to shit I got to goddamn say, and that you be interested in that. So I said, yes, he does. He has a lot to say, and that's when I started to share it. So it was just like so much beauty and culture and just love and so much pain, and he just has a beautiful, full life. You live really fast. Many times you're in a gang, you're on the street, and you do a lot of things. And by the time you're 30, like his age, you feel old and you're burnt out. So it was things I didn't even know, and I'm enjoying this, and I'm feeling really grateful to have that experience with that type of soul who would grace me. I'm people say I might have helped him, and I'm sure I did, but he helped me and in so many more ways. And that's why I was willing to fight about it, because I got to see, and it's really crazy, y'all, that somebody's physically dead and women want to come beat my ass about somebody physically dead because he's in my house, and they want me to put the man out the house, to turn on the goddamn man, don't listen to nothing the man say, don't repeat shit the man say, I'm getting my ass beat on a physical level, and they doing death spells, say they were gonna kill me if I didn't put him out the house and make him go to his wife. I said, well, we finna fight. We finna fight. I'm gonna fight you about this nigga, right? The nigga ain't going no goddamn way. As long as the nigga said he wanna stay here, the nigga staying here. Goddamn, I ain't putting this going. No, then I'm shit. You know how we grew up in the South, and even when you little, they teach you how to do that. You do that goddamn neck roll, that head roll and shit. I don't give a fuck what you say. The nigga ain't going no motherfucker. We gonna fight about this goddamn nigga right. Oh, come on. What is it? What? We don't give a fuck. What that song your little Scrappy did? We don't want no problem. Who? We don't want no problem. You don't want no problem. You don't want no problem. I'm like, little Scrappy, goddamn it. Come on, get head bust. Come on. Come on. You gonna bust you up, but the nigga ain't going no goddamn well. I'm like, I know. That shit was so crazy to me. It's still crazy to me now. That is physically dead, and I'm getting death threats and saying, put that nigga outside, goddamn it, because you talk too motherfucking much, and this nigga talk too much, and you repeat everything this nigga said. You know, I was just looking over, I forgot it. You know what? One of the funniest readings I did is when Eazy-E, and I was a big fan of Eazy-E. Eazy-E came in the house. Nipsey was cool with Eazy-E and looked at him like his big homie until that night he came in the house. That was the wildest shit. But Taya Williams, Tamara Williams, why you screaming? That shit crazy, ain't it? That shit is fucking wild. They act like this nigga is still in the fucking body. Didn't want him to be in my house. I'm like, oh, is this real? I'm like, is this really real? And I'm like, if that's he's some, please don't put me out. Don't make me. I'm not going back up. Tell them I'm not. They trying to take my soul. They trying to finish killing. You know, you can kill somebody in the spirit realm and take their soul from them and hold it. You say, I don't know, baby. You got to look it up. What sign is easy? But he came and he knew me. You said, always, what's it like letting go of someone you once loved, but that person hurt you and you still care? It's okay, baby. You got to work through it. You got to work through that. He does look like Holly, doesn't he? Holly Selassie. Child, my whole body's hot now. I gotta go. You said you dripping and they drown. Ooh, drip or drown. That's right, T. Jefferson. Yeah, not court case, cold. Cold. That what them country people say. My grandma would say cold. I do have a lot of respect for Black Sam. I do. And he's still holding his brother down. Oh, Virgo. I don't know who's a Virgo, baby. Can you believe it? Wack just coming out with that shit. And you know they know I said it these years, but wasn't verified. Now all of a sudden they verifying it, what I said. Thank you, Chanel, for watching all my lives. I know. And you see that? They saying what I already motherfucking said. You said, but they wasn't calling them freak offs then. I know that, man. And I'm looking at Nipsey. I said, what? He's sitting there, or I'm laying down, and I felt him, and I saw his spirit come lay down on my bed. He just was comfortable, just telling me the stuff, and I'm in here by myself. They probably think I'm crazy. They can hear me through the walls and shit, because no physical person's here. I'm in here talking back to him, and I'm laughing my fucking ass off. Like, Nipsey, your ass is crazy. All right, he's so funny. And then people started saying that knew him and talking about him. They doing a documentary with the brother saying that Nipsey was so funny even as a child. And I said, But when I said he was funny, they said I was lying and I was crazy. Y'all, I don't know why, but my whole body, I gotta go. Lord, I'm so hot. My head is wet right now. Water is coming up my fucking head. I gotta take this goddamn wig off. I gotta take these clothes off for a minute. I was gonna talk to y'all because I got the products and stuff here that I want to show you and deal with the women's hormones. And I got a sale on right now of all of my products and my oils. I did want to say if you wanted to try out a short, because y'all good to me and y'all got my shoes and y'all been supporting me and been really good. I'm asking about to put my cash in. My cash app is God, the number 9XX. God, the number 9XX, God 9XX. Cash app. I decided if you want to try, I'm gonna give you a special this weekend because you all were good to me. And y'all saw my shoes. I wasn't lying. My shoes was really toe up. I really need a new pair of goddamn shoes. I literally been trapped in the house for 10 years and I couldn't walk, couldn't run or nothing. And so the shoes kind of came in handy because my feet were so swollen that them being flattened out like that, I just put the shoe cover on them. I couldn't even tie my shoes. That's how big my feet were. And lately now they're going down. I'm feeling better. I can jog a little bit. I can walk. It made me so happy. It wasn't, a big deal. I know I'm a grown woman acting like that about a pair of shoes, but it wasn't about the shoes themselves. You see what I'm saying? It's symbolic. And that a lot of people thought enough of me that they donated so I could get me a pair. And the fact that I'm healing because I couldn't even lace up shoes. My feet were so big. You see what I'm saying? So that's also why it meant so much to me. I'm going to offer you a discount on the 15-minute reading. It was 70, it's 150, but it's cut in half right now to 75. If that's too high for you right now, this weekend I'm doing 5555. So $55 donation and 55 cents. 5555. Since a lot of y'all like them numbers, 111222. I couldn't fuck around and get 111 now and 11, goddamn 11. Come on now. But I will do a 5555, a $55.55 donation for 15 minutes. And it's one question only. The 15 minutes only. One question only. I'm going to offer that this weekend. If you want to try it out, I've been selling, thank God, the hair drink, the biotin multivitamin hair drink. I don't have that many of them left. And plus, I like to drink the hell out of it. But when I come back, I will show y'all. Just like I'm so fucking hot. God damn. Talking about him done made me hot all over. So I don't know what the fuck it is. My whole body's hot. I can feel the water coming off my goddamn head. So let me get myself together. I'm glad people are supporting you. Said them new Nikes you got, they feel so good too. Yes, you can cash up me. It's God, God, the number 9XX. Okay. I haven't seen left out. I thought about her, and when I was out the other day with my son, I drove by her graveyard, and I think of her every time I go by there. And she was heavy on my mind a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what's going on when her birthday, when celebrations in Atlanta, they do it every year. But she came to me and I was thinking about her and I said, what is wrong, left out, Lisa? I didn't get into it probably because I've been having so much going on. I'm working, like I was up working today making hair products and new buttercream because I ran out of my cherry chocolate buttercream, and my son loves my cherry chocolate buttercream. So he used my shit, and every time I make some, I sell it. So I also have a sale on that. I was up making fresh batches and making the oils. And I have the scalp spray. This is if your hair got fungus, dandruff, itchy, irritating. I love it because it's the blue. Nipsey gave me this formula as well and gave me the gold cream. And that's pure aloe vera oil right there that I made. I have all this stuff in stock. And this is the hot pepper oil. You have the tingling sensation, helps open up the follicles and help to stimulate growth. Also is an antibacterial cayenne, antibacterial, antifungal. I was going to get into those more, but I got to come back because we got to get into, I'm going to teach you some of the things when we're dealing with the PTSD and the complex post-traumatic stress disorder. If you've been abused repeatedly as a child and abandoned and moved around, and how it affects and dysregulates your central nervous system, how to regulate it back. Okay, that's just a little bit of it, and we'll get deeper into that with the membership classes. Like if you want to sign up, and you get the private link to the private class while we're reconstructing my AlexisKTyler.com. Okay, let me just go get some water because I don't know why I'm so hot. I was feeling fine. I was feeling good and took my bath and everything. And I started talking about him and all the spiritual stuff, and it's just like, but then, oh, I got a lot of company. I can't get into some of the readings because I got to tell you something else I saw about these jets, these commercial airplanes. I keep seeing something about the engine hanging out of the plane and being detached and the bolts loose and something wrong with some of the parts inside of the plane. Also, the engine connect. Did y'all see was it yesterday or the day before? I forgot the airline, but today, I think I saw it on the news, was today or yesterday, Delta, they had to hurry up because the compression was a compression problem inside of the airplane, the cabin. They had to bring it back to Atlanta, and some passengers done beat a goddamn flight attendant ass up there in the goddamn mid-flight. Did y'all see that? I'm trying to remember what. Now, I don't know what said they drug her, or I think it might not have been a she, but said they beat some of the airline employee ass up there in the goddamn plane. So I don't, did they beat the flight attendant? I know they didn't whoop the pilot ass because, you know, the plane would have went down, but I don't know what the flight attendant said, or was it more than one flight attendant? But they locked up the passenger. I don't think they get them. They got them at Ritz crackers or them oyster crackers, oyster shell crackers with some chili or that cheap ass damn bad food. They got up there a sandwich. I don't know what the fuck they did to set this passenger off, but they unloosened their goddamn seatbelt, got up and beat the brakes off of one of the goddamn flights. Did y'all see this goddamn shit up there? Y'all seen that bullshit? It was all over. The goddamn news charged them with assault. Feet, and I think they put their feet and legs on them. Put their paws on them. God damn, you know, we ain't even safe in the goddamn airport or the goddamn airplane now. I mean, they just assaulting motherfuckers wherever they get the need and the feel and the feed of the shit. I don't know if he had it mad, that psych meds that goddamn it day. But I love y'all. Thank y'all for loving and supporting me. And I didn't go where I wanted to go on this. I got to go back down to this Rock Nation thing, and Desiree Perez, that's clearly a racist. Deal with all them black people and hate black people, hate black men. I said, you got to be mentally ill, bitch. Fucking this nigga, bitch. I know you out your goddamn it mind, hoe. You said, Lord, I know you out your motherfucking mind, bitch, because you know I ain't raised you like that and teach you no bullshit like that. Up here fucking and sucking this goddamn it nigga, bitch. You got to motherfucking have a mental problem, bitch. And you got to need a psych eval. You know what? Lock this bitch up, goddamn it. They put this bitch in a mental institute. Oh, you want to say, oh, so you like this nigga? You like fucking all on this nigga and slip and slide down and dropping down to the motherfucking ground and goddamn leaning and screaming and twerking it out for this goddamn nigga. Oh, bitch, you must be dysregulated and discombobulated, bitch, and any other thing, dis and ION that come with the shit, bitch. Something wrong with you, bitch, because you know that I don't like you fucking with them nigga, but you gonna have to come up out that shit. And the mama dirty as hell. She done did everything but died. And this girl can't get her no black dick. No. Knowing, goddamn it, knowing that once you go black, you gonna always hit your ride and double back, goddamn it. Let me know. Cause y'all done fucked a nigga and y'all done stop fucking dick. Taking black dick. Now you might have had some white dick, some Chinese dick, you might have had some Latino dick, some Cuban dick, but did y'all really completely leave that black dick alone? You ain't never went back, got them like a dog jonesing for a bone? Like you got them coming back home and get some of that black dick because you know it's some of your mind and your body and in your head that just make you can't leave that dick alone, you know what I'm saying? Y'all tell me, have you ever not? You done had you done taste of that black pole, that pipe, that soul pole, and you never went back and got no more. Especially if you white in here, you another race in here. Once y'all got a piece of that black pole, that hot your pipe right, and nigga know how to dig in your ass with that black dick and fuck you all night, goddammit. Now you tell me, did you leave that alone? Huh? And you went Jones and like a dog Jones and goddamn it for us to chew on the meat and take it off the bone? Huh? And suck the bone marrow down out of it. Huh? And be leaking when you say, you really telling me? Huh? Oh, somebody talking about it been so long. That ain't what I asked you. I understand if it been so long. But when you go back and get some of that goddamn soul pone, when you get that soul pole and be jonesing. You know how sometimes that chicken be so good and goddamn a church of chicken, Bojangle, Popeye, where you be eating it down and you gnaw it down and eat the skin off of there because that skin be crunchy and good and a lot of flavor in it. Then you eat that juicy, moist, tender meat off the breasts and that goddamn it drumstick. And after you eat it off of there, it don't be nothing but a bone. You know how you just get so goddamn good, like you start gnawing on the bone down to the motherfucking marrow. Huh? You do one of them black dicks like that, them soul pole, get down and gnaw on it like you try to suck the skin off of it. Like you pull all that skin out and that meat off that the church of chicken drumstick or Popeye, the Bojangles, or whoever else the motherfucker you like. Tell me, goddammit, that you don't be jonesing for that shit. Even if it been a long time. When you decide to get you some dick after it been a long time, is you gonna get some of that soul pole? Huh? Because now this lady mama telling her that cause she like that soul pole and she can't leave it alone, that lady need a psych eval. Pulled a 5150 on that lady and got that lady down there in them goddamn mental institute. Now I don't know if they gave her drugs, but do y'all think y'all need a psych eval and a mental problem? Y'all think y'all got a mental problem because you can't leave a nigga dicks alone, or you be thinking about it and craving it even if you celibate. You think about next time you get you a pole that you wanted to be a soul pole. Y'all think y'all got a mental problem too? Huh? Anyway. Huh? I'll talk to y'all later on.